Alright guys, we got DT50 1988, DT50LC, and this is the restoration project. Not much to report here at Off-Road Universe World. Haven't really had a lot of time to ride. This bike is pretty much the only one I putt around the neighborhood with. Now, a few things I did, if you guys are interested in these or trying to restore them, I ended up doing a few things. I ended up doing the pickup flip mod, which basically involves changing the pickup tab and flipping it around so you advance the timing a little bit. And that gave it a little more snap. Right now our revs are just slightly a little high. They should be, with these bikes, pretty much right at 1500. So I don't think I can adjust the idle at all on this baby. I may have brought it down a little, but yeah, there we go. I think we're down. Fingernail idle adjustment. Look at that. So anyway, but I did the pickup flip mod, which worked pretty well. Gave it a little more snap. Not much, but a little bit. I ended up, if y'all remember, getting that carburetor from, I think it's the DT50, and it's a 19 millimeter carburetor. Stock on this is 16. Carburetor was a little worn out. I kept having a lot of problems with that carburetor in terms of idling and stuff like that. So I just pretty much decided to go back to the stock carby. And, you know, she runs really good. And I did end up, like many of you may remember, taking the cylinder and getting it a freshy bore on it and a little bit of an oversized piston. I think I went with 40.5, so I'm probably a little over 50 cc's. And that was fantastic. So the bike runs really good, really snappy, really clean top to bottom, and has a pretty good amount of bottom end, to be honest. I mean, it has a lot of good power. Like, has a lot of I don't want to say luggability, because that seems ridiculous, but it will pretty much lug around in fourth gear right at about 4,000 RPM, which is impressive for a 50cc. I don't always need to be revving it out. Now, one of the things I did was I went smaller on the countershaft. So I think stock is 13 and I'm running a 12. And where I am, there's a lot of hills in the neighborhood, and you know, the streets kind of, you know, you're always like turning a corner and there's a little hill. So it really doesn't work great for these little 50s. So that lower gearing is perfect. And so, yeah, that's what I've been doing with her, and she's been running really good. So if you're, you know, curious about these bikes, this is 88 DT50 restoration. You can check the channel. I've got, you know, just some of the journey of getting this baby going, and she was pretty beat, but everything was good, man. She's been a good bike. 30 years old from when I got her. I've had her since, no, actually 91, so it's like 33 years. And my dad bought this bike for me. He had a business on Fondren in Houston, and somehow he got it for like $160. I remember he got it home, and it had the blue tank and it had the blue plastics. And when I got it, I had never ridden a dirt bike before, and not a two-stroke. I had 4-stroke three-wheelers. I had a 200S, a 185S. I had a 82 185S. I had an 83 ATC 70, and I had an 84 ATC 200S. And this was just a 50, but I had never ridden a two-stroke before. And man, when I got on this two-stroke, I was like, wow, this thing is fun, you know, because the 4-strokes just don't have a hit. And this baby has a hit. This baby has, you know, it revs, it's got the clutch, and I loved, you know, just being able to grab the clutch and then like kind of pick the revs up and then dump it. And it just was so fun and so maneuverable. And, you know, the story, if you watch the channel, she basically, sometime around 2003, I had not, you know, started her in a while, and around 2003 I tried to get her started, and I never cleaned the carburetor. This is the original carb, and I was just fooling around, not doing what I needed to do. And so she sat, man, from 2003 to 2024. And prior to 2003, I probably didn't ride it much. I rode it around maybe 92, 93. So I got it in 91, and I rode around 92, 93. And then around 93, I believe, actually 92, I got a KTM 250 MX in 1988. And I rode that around, and this bike just kind of sat. You know, I might pull it out of the barn and fool with it, but it really wasn't a bike that I messed with anymore. So I rode it for 2 years. She sat for another 10 years, and then she sat for another 20 years. It's kind of scary. And then this year I was like, man, I'm gonna get her going. So here she is. And yeah, go back and watch the videos. It's a pretty cool journey, and she was pretty bad. So I went in. I didn't have the gas tank that was missing. I guess sometime around 2003, I was, I guess, trying to start her. And I remember thinking to myself, I don't want the gas tank to get rusted, and I don't want the seat to get like chewed up with like rats and stuff in the barn. So I put them somewhere, but I have no idea where they were. And so when I came back to look, I couldn't find those. And these are not super common bikes. So luckily I ended up finding a seat from a guy in Arizona, a company that was parting out a bike. And I found a gas tank from a guy in Canada, but it was totally just banged up. And so I went in and I did the whole Bondo thing. You guys will watch the video if you want on the channel. But yeah, she was originally blue. I went with black. Never really liked the blue very much. I love it on the older Yamahas. Let me know what I love, like the 83, 84 Yamaha blue. But on this bike, I just didn't like it. But I love the black. I think she's gorgeous. I've tried to run some hand guards, but I'm gonna just go with this look. And I love what they did with the silver here. Now, these are reproductions from Portugal, but they did a great job. They did such a great job. And so, yeah, that's it. She's awesome. She starts up really well, and she's a rever, and she's a runner, and she's great. So we're working on getting her street legal, but every time I go, my biggest problem is that I'm having to actually get like what's called a bonded title. And in Texas, to get the bonded title, you know, I gotta take her to a police station, so to speak, and they do a search. I went, the guy already did the search, you know, it was not stolen, whatever, when I got it in 91, and everything was good, but then I didn't go in 30 days, and then I had to basically try to go get the form again, and I gotta go drive out to a pretty far location, and I really don't have time with my work and business to do that. So it's okay. No one's gotten me in trouble yet here, but I would like to get a street legal license. So that's it, guys. Just enjoying it, and haven't ridden much else. I've been super busy with work and kids and everything else. So I've got a lot of bikes to ride, but things will loosen up eventually, and we'll get some more out. But just enjoying a nice Friday evening. The DT50, the bike that's been with me since I was 19 years old. 19 years old. It's kind of cool. Something special about that. All right, boys. We'll see you next time.